what is furthering our industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly believe this is one of those guns, products, however you want to call it,
Sure.
that actually like has advanced and opened up the door for so many people. It's not just a line extension. It's completely new.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I really have a lot of faith in what you guys are doing over there at CVA.
Yeah, no, KJ, and we really appreciate that. Those are awesome, kind words, because literally this was a 2-year project in the making. I mean, from its first conceptual thought and design from, I got to give credit to Mark Hendricks, who's the VP of our technical development, and he works, we're owned by a Spanish company, DCAR.
Right.
I don't know how many people know that, but
absolutely zero.
Probably. But him and our engineers and Ego and a lot of those guys over there, they worked tirelessly on this project.
Yeah.
And we initially started, I try to give you the Reader's Digest version, but we initially started with the 50 cal because the 50 cal is the hot item. It's
right.
it for muzzle loading in general. And we didn't get the velocities or the recoil was pretty awful.
Right.
To get the velocity that we wanted with the 50 cal, having to run a really heavy bullet. And so went back to the drawing board and we're like, you know what? The craze right now is long range.
Yep.
And so why not go back in time to the 45?
Yeah.
Because the 45 was super hot 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But the long range craze wasn't there.
Right.
And online shopping wasn't there. And there's a lot of things that weren't in play at that time,
yep.
which hurt the 45, which is inherently, it's a more accurate. Yeah, it is sad. It's a much more accurate caliber, especially for guys hunting whitetails.
Right.
And even elk. I mean, we've had guys taking moose and even a grizzly bear with the Paramount, which is pretty phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
So a 2-year project in the making. Before we were ready to launch it, we wanted to make sure this thing was buttoned up into the T, and we had all of our I's dotted and T's crossed.
CVA has done it. And if you guys are just now joining us, we're joined by Mr. Jason Sebo and from CVA. And you say it's a 2-year process. And unfortunately, I say you're wrong because we are always trying to extend our ranges, and especially with muzzleloaders nowadays, modern inline muzzleloaders. We've always tried to get a little extra out of them, to get out to that 150, 200-yard range. 5 years ago was a giant deal.
Sure.
And so, and I always have found that CVA has been on the leading edge of like developing something new for shooters. But you guys, with the CVA Paramount launched at SHOT Show this past year, absolutely knocked it out of the park, because I came by and, your guy, Tony Smotherman, he sits there and he says, KJ, you got to come by and shoot this thing. Okay, I'll see what it's about. 300 yards out, the wind's blowing stiffer than I'll get out, in the desert in Nevada, and I'm sitting there hitting targets at 300 yards with a muzzleloader, and that should not happen. It shouldn't.
Not with your typical break action muzzleloader.
No, you guys are you're not in the muzzleloader business anymore. I mean, you guys are in the long range muzzleloader now.
We are. Yeah, we are. And what the other thing we wanted to do with this gun is take the CVA brand to a level that it's never been before. And that was part of the goal in this project. Was CVA has not had anything revolutionary for quite some time. So this was one extra step to get to that point.
Well, you guys did it.
It was a big step.
It was a giant step. And actually, we're at the NASGW show. Yep. And this long-range muzzleloader was awarded for its innovation. It won its innovation and awarded the best new product of 2019. And we've got a little snippet of your acceptance speech last night. We're going to go ahead and run that in, and we'll talk about that when we come back.
Okay, sounds good. The Caliber Award means so much to us. The Paramount was literally a 2-year project in the making before bringing it to market. A lot of research, testing, engineering went into the gun to get it to perform past 300 and 400 yards as a true long-range muzzleloader. Really super excited about all the love and support we got from POMA and NASGW and all of our distributors.
And that's a big deal for industry leaders. You know, you talk about like some of the guns that you beat out, but to open up, you've opened up my gosh, I don't know how many of these things you've sold in Western states right now, but you've got to, I don't know how you can keep them in stock from those guys.
I will tell you this, we did not expect the recognition and the press that this thing received in the first year. It was pretty astounding.
Whoa.
And the reason I say that, though, I know you're saying, I know you're thinking, KJ, that, or you're, thinking, Jason, that's crazy. But KJ, seriously, we really didn't, because we didn't know how it was going to perform or not perform, but in the marketplace perform. And so we really didn't dump a whole lot of marketing dollars into it. And I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And I'm being honest. And so we're like, well, let's just see how it does. We're known as a muzzleloading brand. We put our marketing dollars, a lot of our marketing dollars, more into another product that we launched last year, and so let's just see how it goes, and it did phenomenal.
But I think the market is such, and I think a lot of our viewers are kind of sitting there going, wow, a 300 to 400 yard muzzleloader is great, but our industry was kind of ready for this. They were really primed to, because you look at the PRS matches, guys extending their ranges, 2-mile shots being every other post I get on Facebook is someone shooting 2 miles, and it's like kind of a secondhand thing right now. It's just, you're getting all these shots, but where did you guys start to think, you know what, let's kind of revamp this and start extending the range?
Well, so I'll just try to rewind a little bit. We knew there was a market out there for this. And there's a couple companies out there that are making really high-end muzzleloaders, but they're out of the price range for your average your average American, your average hunter. They're selling for $3,000-$4,000, if not more. And so we wanted to come out with something that would take that place and be affordable for your average guy or lady hunter. And so the other thing with us. With one of our sister brands, Bagara, being a key player in this, I'll give them a lot of credit. The HMR stock, that was a big component of this. And if for a lot of you that don't know, but probably a lot of you do know, there's an aluminum chassis that runs inside the channel of this stock, which gives the action and it makes it super rigid. Bagara barrel. All of our barrels go through a really detailed 3-step honing process before they're button rifled, taking out any imperfections in the bore. So that's part of the process. I mentioned 50 cal earlier, but after we went back to the drawing board to the 45, we tested, 4 different twist rates. That's the benefit of having your own barrel company.
You can just whip one up
you
right there.
Just kind of, well, I wish it would work that fast, because our barrel company or our factory, DCAR, is in Spain, so it takes a little bit of time. But it's still, we have that ability, we have that flexibility to check, hey, let's get a batch of barrels in 1 in 22, 1 in 20, 1 in 24. Let's figure out this magic potion that's going to make it work. Now,
this is the original that you guys launched at SHOT Show. Now it looks a lot different now. Walk us through kind of what you guys did with the upgrades here. They both are going to perform. But what's different?
So the main difference is, I guess the one thing I want to get out of the way, the one thing that makes this thing tick and makes it perform very well is there's a spring on the inside of this bolt face. If you take this, any kind of crescent wrench, you can take this off, and there's a spring on the inside, and that donut sits on top of that spring.
And I don't know if you can get in here, right in there.
Kind of see that?
Jace can kind of get in there a little bit.
So there we go. When you cam this bolt down, the firing pin spring system pushes that spring forward and puts pressure on that donut. Well, what that does, it puts pressure right on the face of your Veriflame. which holds a large rifle primer.
Yeah, and this isn't. It's not exactly like, I mean, your traditional muzzleloaders.
No.
I mean, it's different.
It's different. It looks like a 209, and that's what it kind of replicates, but it's not. A guy named Cecil Epps in Canada developed that, and that's who we partnered with on that.
Okay.
But our engineers and Mark developed this bolt system, and we literally just got our patent on it probably about 6 months ago.
Oh, wow.
So that's very awesome to hear. But anyway, So what happens when you cam this down, the main benefit of that, putting pressure on the face of your Veriflame, you get zero blowback.
Right.
That's the problem with a lot of your break action muzzleloaders. You get tons of blowback. So your velocities are all over the place.
Trust me, I know.
Yep.
Like, I've been shooting muzzleloaders forever.
It's like a centerfire rifle.
Yep.
So pushing everything forward out the muzzle, your velocity deviation, I mean, is single digits.
Oh, really?
Yes. That's what makes this whole system work.
Okay.
So there's multiple pieces, but the main system is the Veriflame and our patented bolt head.
Nice.
That's what makes it work. So the original Paramount you see here, green stock, retails right at $1,000. Remington 700 short action scope base. You can adjust the trigger. You just have to pull the barrel in action out to adjust the trigger.
And now that's one place where I think the newest model.
Yep.
Where I really like the sound of what you guys did in the trigger, and I think that's one of the biggest things guys are going to really appreciate about the new one.
Yep. Yeah, sure. So this is the new one for this year. This is the Paramount Pro. Paramount Pro uses a gray bow stock, and this stock you see has a cheek piece on it, so you can obviously get down on it.
Good weld on it.
Good weld on it. Yep. Still has the 45 caliber 1 in 22 twist. But the main benefit is, like you said a minute ago, KJ, is the Trigger Tech trigger. You can adjust that thing down. I honestly,
how low
I think
could you
about
really
a pound and a half is what I think. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But the nice thing about it is
it's already done.
It's already done. It's already written in stone.
Yep.
You can adjust the trigger with just a small Allen key right inside the housing.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, Jace, but it's real small right in there.
So just a small Allen bit can get in there, and you can just every click is literally a few ounces.
So there's no taking apart the action, nothing like that.
Correct.
To change the weight of your trigger, which is beautiful.
Yep, exactly.
So so you carry your ramrod.
Yep. So that's the other thing. The Paramount. We wanted to make the barrel free floating. We didn't want to affect the harmonics of the barrel having to touch anything. So we have a collapsible ramrod. There's actually two. I didn't bring the other ramrod, but there's a collapsible ramrod, and you literally just deploy this in the field for loading. Right.
That's easy.
That's easy.
It folds up really nice.
Folds up nice. It's got a small little molly pouch that it comes with.
Okay.
It also has a solid aluminum ramrod that you use for cleaning.
Okay.
So you can't pull with this.
Right.
You can't pull a patch through with this, but the other one you can.
So it comes with both of them.
Yep.
You're good to go.
Comes with both of them. You're good to go.
What are you guys recommending? A guy gets this and he says, okay, now what do I need to shoot out of this? What powders are you using? And what Sebos are you using?
Yep. So real quick, I forgot to touch on Paramount Pro will come in right around $1,500 retail.
Right.
So recommended loads for all the Paramount series is going to be 140 grains by volume of Blackhorn 209 or 150 grains by volume of Blackhorn 209.
Isn't that stuff sweet?
That stuff's awesome.
It makes cleaning a muzzleloader easy.
It's unbelievable how clean it is.
It is.
What we do recommend, the most important piece of that powder that we recommend is that you actually weigh it by weight, by grains. And any good Hornady, RCBS, any of those good scales out there is what we recommend. 140 equates to 98 by weight, and 150 equates to 105.
Oh, okay.
By weight. And so either one of those, if you want a little less recoil, shoot that 140-98. If you want recoil doesn't bother you as much,
you want a little bit more
velocity, a little less drop at longer distances, run that 150. I personally like the 150.
Yeah.
That's just me, though.
Yeah, you extend your range a little bit more, less drop. I mean, what's not to love about that?
Exactly.
Come on, that's what this gun is designed to do.
Exactly.
So why not use it to its fullest performance?
100%.
Geez, come on, people.
Projectile, you mentioned sabots. We don't. Sabots are great. We obviously own power belt.
Yep.
So we're obviously pushing power belts. We prefer running a full bore bullet just for increase in energy. It engages the rifling, so we feel like they're more accurate. The Power Belt ELR bullet was born with the Paramount.
Okay.
So those two were basically developed in
conjunction with
one another. Correct. We wanted a super high BC bullet that was provided awesome penetration, awesome accuracy, and great weight retention afterwards. That bullet weighs in right at 280 grains and ships in the pack of 20. So the main benefit, the main thing that you get here is this thing comes as a package. Okay. You get the gun, you get both ramrods, you get a pack of Veriflames, 10 of those, so to get you started. You get a repriming kit for the Veriflames.
Okay.
You get a cleaning jag, you get a pack of power belts. It even comes with a sling. The sling's not shown here, but
all in one.
All in one.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, give us a rundown of the Veriflame.
Yep.
I mean, how many rounds can you get through that? I mean, is it just multiple?
I will say when we first heard about the Veriflame, we got about 50 or 100 from Cecil out of Canada just to test it. And we ran those 50 or 100 over a 2-year test period.
Okay.
So I'm talking hundreds of rounds.
Okay.
Hundreds. They're 416 stainless steel, so they won't rust on you. They won't deform.
Okay.
They will hold up.
All right.
And if you lose them, you can buy more.
Well, yeah. That's the beauty of it.
Yep.
All right. Now, this is one mean-looking break.
It is one mean-looking break. And no, we're not coming out with a 50 BMG.
No, yeah, you are. You are now.
Well, yeah.
No. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, folks. Don't write in or anything like that. They are not. All right. Give us a rundown because this looks good.
Yeah. So going forward in 2020, I know this is going to irritate some folks, and I'm sorry.
Nah, it always does.
It's just like you buy a new pair of shoes. The next year they come out with something else. Yeah. Ford, Chevy, they all do it. Yeah. All of the Paramounts next year are going to come threaded for our Paramount brake, and this is a self-timing brake. If you don't know how self-timing brakes work, you screw it on. If it indexes here, you just back her off a little bit till your ports are at 9 and 3 o'clock, and then you've got an Allen screw that you just tighten that down and lock it into place. Yeah. The nice thing about this brake is you don't have to take it off to clean it. And by that I mean most brakes the ports are so small that when you go to pull, most muzzleloader brakes are so small, when you go to pull the jag through with the patch, you can't get it out. You can get it down, but you can't get it out. That first port is large enough where when you pull it out, you just pull out the side with your fingers.
That's so much easier.
So, you can take it off if you want to, put this in, solvent overnight to clean it, but you don't have to.
You don't have to. You don't have to take it off. It's there.
Yep.
Just leave it.
So that'll retail for right around $90 probably, somewhere in that ballpark.
Easy.
Yep.
Well, they've got the full system. If you're looking to extend your range, if you're looking to head out west and start applying for those tags that you thought were impossible to get because you didn't have a muzzleloader that could extend your range, CVA definitely has you covered. And, man, you got to check this thing out. At least go shoot it. All right, CVA, we're at NASGW. We're going to come back with some more good stuff tomorrow. Keep tuning in, and we'll bring you some more from NASGW.